Let's move into main topic number 3, shall we? And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Benji M, who writes, "Hello, John and Rob. First of all, John, thank you for all the WandaVision coverage. My wife and I are obsessed. I think there's a lot of people obsessed. By the way, happy 61 and a half hours, everybody. 61 and a half hours until the new episode, the final episode of WandaVision. Just wanted to throw that out there. The clock is ticking. My wife and I are obsessed. Anyway, I know you debunked the Amber Heard getting fired rumor. I didn't debunk it. I know you debunked the Amber Heard getting fired rumor based on that Forbes article, but I keep seeing more and more sites reporting it. Is it possible she was actually fired? What do you think?" All right. So fair enough question, Benji. So here's basically what Benji is referring to. So a couple of days ago, you saw this big burst of chatter going on online about, did you hear Amber Heard got fired off of Aquaman? And I thought, well, that's interesting. But when you looked into it and you found out who everybody was quoting and who everybody was referencing, they were all referencing this article in Forbes. I went and looked at the article of Forbes. And of course, you guys remember we talked about this last week. And the article in Forbes wasn't about Amber Heard getting fired. It was actually an article from 2 months ago in a story about Emilia Clarke selling her house, and by a writer on Forbes who covers real estate. And then in one of the throwaway paragraphs down near the end, it just kind of casually writes, and Emilia Clarke's doing this, this, and this, and she was hired to replace Amber Heard and blah, blah, blah. So obviously he read something somewhere and threw that into his story. Now, that didn't mean it was impossible that Amber Heard, look, we're seeing studios, Rob, trying to separate themselves from drama. Although with Amber Heard, it is a little bit different because Amber Heard's got Zack Snyder in her corner. She's got Walter Hamada in her corner. She seems to have the WB executives in her corner. So having like all of those people on her side, it seemed unlikely about that, but you never know, it's possible. Well, what Benji is referring to is in the last number of days, we've seen a continuation of flux of more and more sites running these headlines, blah, blah, blah. As you look into them, though, a lot of them go back to that Forbes article. They keep pointing back to that Forbes article as the originator of that story. And then there were some stories going around that, oh, I heard that Amber Heard didn't pass a physical that she's contractually obligated to pass, which, hey, that studios do put those clauses in some contracts.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely do. So there could be, it could be some merit and all that kind of stuff. Again, it seemed unlikely considering that, again, Zack Snyder's on her side, Walter Hamada's on her side, all that kind of stuff. It seemed unlikely that they would try to remove her. Anyway, now it seems to be kind of put to rest a little bit because what we've got happening here, this comes to us from Cineblend referring to Hollywood Reporter. There were recently reports that Heard was also being fired by Warner Brothers, but it seems those reports were inaccurate. The Hollywood Reporter's Ryan Parker revealed that someone close to the Aquaman 2 set has denied reports of Amber Heard's firing. While the source's name was not provided, obviously, this does seem to clear up the online discussion about Heard's possible departure. And while the results of her ongoing courtroom battle with Depp remain to be seen, it looks like her version of Mara will remain part of Jason Momoa's franchise. Now, what's important about this is that this is coming from not a John Campea Gus's gas station movie reviews .fart kind of website
right.
or nothing YouTube channel like mine. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. You're saying, look, we talked to somebody within that thing and say, no, Amber Heard's not been fired. So, that should put it to rest. That should end it, I would think. If there was never any legitimate news saying that she's been fired, if you understand that Walter Hamada, Zack Snyder, and the execs of Warner Brothers are on her side, and now in the light of all the rumors going around, the Hollywood Reporter is actually coming out saying, nope, I touched base with my studio rep there. She's not been fired. Now, does that mean it's impossible that it could be? Of course it's not impossible. Of course it could be. But I think if you're going to be rational about it, at this point, you have to say, we've got to assume she's not been fired from it. We have to assume she is indeed still Armera. And if other legitimate factual evidence and news comes to light, we can revisit that and maybe change and say, okay, well, maybe she was. And maybe we got to keep that in the back of our minds. But for now, it seems pretty clear that these rumors, which are continuing to persist, and I'm sure they will continue to persist. I mean, honestly, Rob, at this point, Jason Momoa himself could get on Instagram and say, just so everybody knows, and then the camera pans back and he's got his arm around Amber. Amber and I are still doing Aquaman together. There would still be rumors persisting that she's not. But again, anything is possible in this crazy world, but to me, that seems to put a nail in it. Rob, you hear about this. I don't know, the rumors continue to persist. Sometimes, Rob, where there is smoke, there is fire. But there seems to be constant water being doused on it from more reputable sources. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, I think obviously she's in the news, and there's been a lot of talk with all of these celebrity transgressions lately that when they happen, the knee-jerk reaction is that they're being fired. And, I think that it's not as easy. People have contracts. And when you're signing on for these big tentpole films, you have contracts that cover multiple films. I mean, obviously, Crimes of Grindelwald, we know that Johnny Depp stepped down and is not going to be in the next Fantastic Beasts movie, but he's getting paid. He's getting paid because he had that contract. So it's a tough call. And while Amber Heard has been in a vicious custody, or not custody, but a lawsuit, multiple lawsuits with Johnny Depp, she still hasn't she might be the wronged party. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't see that she's any. Look, it doesn't surprise me that she would get fired, especially over health issues. Maybe she's been self-medicating too much. But on the other hand, maybe she hasn't been. And it's just business as usual. And this is what the hype train brings into the station. It's like, she's going to get fired. And it's like, one site, we see it all the time. One site reports something like this. Somebody hears something from somebody, and these rumors are reported, and then they become something that's reported on by other people. But a lot of the time they turn out not to be true. But I could see it going either way because, first of all, no studio needs this kind of publicity on any of their projects. You're making an Aquaman movie. It's a family-friendly superhero franchise for the whole family, a 4-quadrant film. So what do you need this kind of press before you've even started making the movie?
Well, it's situations like this that make me feel some empathy for studios like Disney or Warner Brothers or whatever, because Warner Brothers now finds themselves in a spot that they never asked to be in. If they keep Amber Heard, there's going to be a segment of people that get all butthurt. If they let Amber Heard go, there's going to be another demographic of people that are going to be extremely butthurt and upset. And it's like Warner Brothers is sitting there. It's like, what the F did we do? Like, we didn't ask for any of this. You actors with your bullshit TMZ lives causing us grief. And like, no matter, so Warner Brothers is kind of in a situation where they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. Whichever move they do now, through they never asked for this from Depp or from Heard or from anybody because of their off-camera bullshit. Warner Brothers has to take heat. And on that level, I kind of feel a little bit bad for them. I feel bad from that level. Anyway, question is, guys, what do you think about this? I mean, listen, an actor is expendable. So, I mean, maybe Amber Heard doesn't end up in this thing. It's difficult to believe that, understanding all of who was in her corner, including like the studio had Walter Hamada, the executives, Zack Snyder continues to want to work with her, all that kind of stuff. And now we're getting reports from the Hollywood Reporter that the studios confirmed to them that Amber Heard's not going anyway. But the rumors are going to persist and you never know. But question is, guys, what do you think about this right now? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.